Okay, guys, let's roll. Where are we going today? I think you can guess from the image behind me. We're going to Ulster. No surrender. UVF, UDA, IRA, PIRA, OIRA. Short Strand, the Falls, the Shankill, Carlingford Lock. Yeah, we're going to visit some places today, boys. Right, before I go on, I don't know if you won't be able to see it. The badge on my left, it's a green arrow. I had them made for the Home of the Green Arrow website. We changed the name of the website from the Home of the Green Arrow to the British Resistance because we were really on a roll at that time. The year was around about 2010. As Paul Golding said in the earlier video, those were the golden years for British nationalism. So I had these little green arrows made, and they were given out for someone who had provided above and beyond duty for the Green Arrow website and later the British Resistance website. Very few of them, actually. I think probably less than 15, maybe 12 were given out to people. So they're kind of a collector's item. I know I treasure mine. I didn't think I'd ever wear it again. Didn't ever think I'd ever be known as the Green Arrow again. But why did I choose the name Green Arrow for a website? Especially as there was a Green Arrow comic and stuff like that out. But my Green Arrow was probably before them. When I was young, my father used to fetch home newspapers. I think I told you about that. As well as the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. I would read the local newspaper, the letters page. And there was a guy in there, I'd look forward to his letters. He'd write in every week. It was a weekly paper. And he was always complaining about something. And his pen name was the Green Arrow. And that stuck with me, that he was always complaining and whining. Now remember, I'm a child, I'm 10. And later on, the memory of him came back when I started the site up, the Green Arrow site. It was just a blog at the time. And I thought, I'll be the Green Arrow. My man's obviously long gone, long dead. But I suppose his memory lives on in this story about him I told you. And that's how I became the Green Arrow. Now, some serious business. The image behind me, that's a friend of mine. He served in Northern Ireland. He's still about, yeah, so don't worry, he's safe and well. I don't know whether he was mentally deranged before he went to Ireland, but he's a character, and he's my brother, he's my kinsman, former BNP guy as well. But I'll be talking about him in a minute. I've planned to do still about my time in Northern Ireland and what I saw there, because I think things in the United Kingdom are going to play out very much in the same way as they did in Northern Ireland, secular. And I'll tell you more about what it was like out there in another video with more details, more information. I tried to start to tell you in 2 previous videos about where I joined the Royal Navy and then went on to do my first visit to Northern Ireland in 1969. I was out there gun running on board, I think the first Operation Granada Patrol, 1969. We went to Londonderry. The Catholics call it Derry. You can always tell whether someone's a Protestant, a prod, or a taig. If you say Derry, then you're a Catholic. If you say Londonderry, you're a Protestant, okay? I like Londonderry, but that's another story. So I was out there just doing gun running. Well, because my experience is there, uh, I got attached to a small unit, 4 radio operators, and we would then fly back and forth to Ireland, where would be the radio operators trained in the job that we were doing on board all the different 10 class patrol boats that went out there. Oh God, Wasperton, Wolverton, Larleston, my own Kedleston, Bilston, any ship that ever went on Grenada patrol, there is a chance that I served aboard it during the course of one of their patrols. I never got to really meet my comrades because one or two of us would always be on leave and one always on patrol and one in barracks for emergencies. Spent many a lonely night in a small room just drinking a bottle of sherry, bottled sherry, or a bottle of whiskey. Just sit there in an empty room playing Rod Stewart songs, waiting to go on the next patrol. They used to they used to call me the man in his suitcase. In the end, I didn't bother unpacking it. Anyhow, after a while, I thought enough of this. I'm spending that much time in Northern Ireland. I might as well volunteer and go out there. So I volunteered and I went off to Northern Ireland, Belfast, with a pay rise of 50 pence a day, which incidentally, that was the price of a pint of lager there. And I was on board HMS Maidstone. What was that episode in Sharp about Major Ogan? Major Ogan's coat buckles up over many different buttons up over many different talents or different skills. Well, my jacket buttoned up over many different skills and talents. I've done a lot of different things out there, mainly plain clothes, liaise with ships visiting. I organised a library because I like reading, so I got a library going on the ship. I'd organise parties, discos for visiting ships, get to photograph all the local girls so they could have a pass to come on board. It was an interesting job. But when I was doing that, I was doing other stuff in plain clothes. I was doing something like this. This happened long after I left. This touched me because I knew what those guys were doing. I'll read it. 19th of March 1988, the British Army corporals Derek Wood and David House were lynched by members of a crowd attending a funeral of an IRA member and were later shot dead by the Provisional IRA in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Wearing civilian clothes, both armed with Browning high-power pistols, and in a civilian car, the soldiers drove into the funeral procession of an IRA member, seemingly by mistake. That mistake cost them their lives. It could have happened to me when I was out there. We'd go everywhere, down to Carlingford Lock, cross Magellan, where there was an ambush. 20 of our boys were killed. Yeah, it's funny. Carried a 9mm Browning. I don't know what those boys were thinking that day they got killed, because they must have known the moment that they were surrounded, they wouldn't have been coming out of there alive. I think I would have opened fire, gone down fighting. Perhaps they thought they'd be spared. I doubt it. I doubt it. They must have known that their time was up. I'll leave this for another time, guys. Right, excuse me. Sorry about that. I thought I heard someone at the door. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, talking about out there. Yeah, it was interesting times, tough times. I might as well tell you now. I bothered with a lot of the UDA guys. There's a place outside where I was on board HMS Maidstone, Hollywood. Yeah, and a lot of loyalists hang out there. And I'm a unionist. I got on well with them. And I was given a little brass token. If I'd been caught with this token by one of my own officers, I wouldn't have been out there for long. I'd have been recalled. It was a UVF token, a little brass token. I'll try and show you an image of it in the video. Whereas if I was sort of pulled up in a loyalist area, I could show this token and be given safe passage. That was nice to have. Mind you, if I'd been caught, say, drinking in the Short Strand, which is a Catholic area, I would have been shot. Tell you a few stories about that another time, being in the Short Strand in plain clothes. Anyhow, onwards with this video. I'm digressing far too much. So there's my friend. His name is Kev Timson. He's got a YouTube channel, and I'll be leaving a link down below. Kev really likes his music and his photography. And he's written a song about his time in Northern Ireland. So now we're going to spend 2.5 minutes listening to it. Interesting thing about Northern Ireland, I won't say I was never frightened. Of course I was. Only a fool is never frightened. When they say that a person who, well, he must be brave, he was never scared. A brave man is someone who is scared and still does his duty. If the man feels no fear, he's not being brave. He's either brain dead or very lucky. Anyhow, let's get on with it, shall we? So we're going to go listen to his song, shall we? It's called Garden of Stone, written by Kev Timson.
Yeah, I went and did my duty for my country and my queen. Serving was my destiny. I joined at age 18. I was a soldier, proud and fit, patriotic, true and blue. I fought in places far and wide, and bid my love adieu. Never for a moment, it never crossed my mind that in one brief moment in my life, my fate would be assigned. The world just fell in silence. My thoughts turned to my wife, twirling birds up in the sky. Tranquility, no strife. I looked down on my funeral, upon the grass just mown. Was my life just wasted? Now a name in a garden of stone. I Was my life just wasted? Now a name in a garden of stone.
What do you think, guys? Good? I liked it. I was out there in plain clothes. My hair was long. I could go round drinking the pubs. Sometimes I had to drink in the pubs, duty. But the soldiers, I felt I didn't envy them. Perhaps because of my imagination and my mind, I'd go talk to the guys on the Sanger, the guard post, and I'd be looking up at a tall building and knowing that about the snipers and stuff like that. And I thought, I couldn't stand here for 4 hours. They moved around a lot. Some of the soldiers on the streets would carry sweets to give the children to come around and stand by them. I don't know. It was a terrible time. We'll talk about that in the next video, I think, or one down the road. I've got a lot of photographs, more information really to show you. Anyhow, I done that for my friend Kev. Respect, soldier. Interesting thing was I told you that a couple of my brothers were in the armed forces. I was never really frightened for myself in Ireland, but if one of my brothers was out there, I couldn't sleep. Anyhow, I'm going to try one more time because I'm really disappointed. Our subscriptions after the last video, which is getting a lot of views, we lost 2 subscribers and we gained 2. So we broke even. Well, did we? Anyhow, like and subscribe and comment. Otherwise, I'll sulk. Okay, you've been listening to Paul Morris, The Green Arrow.